Hello, beautiful people. My name is Celia Muswenengzengele. If you are coming across this YouTube channel for the very first time, welcome. If you're a return subscriber, hello, my darling. And how are you? And to all the new people that have just arrived here, guys, hello. I'm here now. Thank you for coming. I promise to deliver some content for a while, and it's not going to be regular here. It's gonna be whenever I find time. Here I want to give my quick view on the Thabo Bester. Why do I call him Thabo Bester? It's actually Thabo Bester and Dr. Nandipha Makutumana. I don't know why we're calling her Makutumana still. Oh, it's because she's still married, by the way. She's still married to Dr. Makutumana, the husband Makutumana. Although somehow even Thabo thinks he is married to her. We don't know what was the arrangement, what kind of marriage it is, because I came across one recording where he was fighting and claiming that you are married to TK Nkwana. You are married. Like, wait, that is another man's wife, but Oksala again. That's it. I want to give my perspective of what I'm thinking about that relationship. My view is, according to the timeline that was given by Kaya FM, they know each other since 2008. They had a relationship and lost contact in 2011. If they were in a romantic relationship by then, that would mean maybe they had 5 years, 5-year relationship together. This is up until 2011, where Thabo goes to prison for, remember, he had violated women. He did not just violate 2 women. I want you to understand that he violated many women. He killed more than 1 woman, that guy, allegedly. But he admitted to only these 2 things and this one. 2 violations and 1 unaliving somebody. So this boy reminds me of a saying that says, if a child is rejected, the saying says, it's an African proverb. It says, if a child is neglected by the village, that child will come back and burn it so that they can get the warmth from it, from the fire. That is exactly what Thabo is doing to us. Thabo was never loved. That's not a given. That's not even an excuse. Right now I'm stating facts. Fact is, Thabo was never loved. That's a fact. I say that because the mother passed him on to someone else, the grandmother. That's not love. The grandmother also was an alcoholic. That's not love if she's not going to take care of this child. And by the look of things, if a child says, I was violated by so and so, telling the grandmother, and the grandmother is doing nothing about the friend, that has violated their grandchild, that's not love, that's affect. So the facts are that this child was never loved by the mother nor the grandmother. That is what we know so far. This child had to learn to fend for himself from a very young age, for obvious reasons. If Granny is an alcoholic that doesn't know, that brings to whatever point of her not taking care of the grandchild will certainly have to fend for themselves. So Thabo is that one child that fended for himself. At 4 years old, there is a claim. I won't say there's a fact. There's a claim that he stole money from either from the people that Gogo was working for or the business person, because you know this story of him stealing money, it's no longer clear now whose money it was, but there was money stolen at 4 years old. So again, another thing that plays a role is that maybe the ignorance that comes with not having enough knowledge of what to do with such a child when a child starts stealing money at 4 years old. Then maybe she didn't know how to handle the situation. And maybe instead of reprimanding him, she was tormenting him for what he has done. So that was the first indication of trouble, and that trouble was never attended to in a right manner. As a result, it grew. It was left to grow and take its shape. The child runs away from home. No one goes after the child to go look for the child. You don't hear anyone that was like on a witch hunt for finding the child. So what does it tell the child wherever they are? That the people I left at home don't care about me, don't even see that I'm not there. So it's fine. I'll have to fend for myself. I'll have to make sure that I live here. That child gets into mischievous ways in all different ways, gets to scam people, and you discover that this child is actually brilliant and intelligent because he is able to make old women, people who are adults, pay money for his bus tickets, pay money for his flights, taking him from here to Durban, and so on and so on. Getting the school blazer that has got different owner badges and so on and so on, and convince people that he's in matric, he needs this help, he needs that, and they get to do what he's asking. He learns the skills of manipulation to his maximum level. He sees how they are helping him. He thinks this is the right way. This is the right way to survive. And he gets on and on and on and on. He accelerates his ways and he graduates. He gets to jail, comes out, gets to jail, comes out, gets violated again, gang violated in prison, and comes out even a worse person, angry person. So he's angry. He's a ball of anger wherever he is. That ball of anger is taking it on everybody. Everybody's gonna pay for him. And upon listening, you hear that there was a time when some of these rich people, he would con them enough to find themselves adopting him, putting them in their houses. I think he would go through and tell himself that one day I'm gonna afford all this. One day, and he made sure. And he just told himself that if it's not by hook, it will be by crook, that I'll get these things. He gets to jail, comes out, gets to jail, comes out, does this. Some of the things were caught, some of the things were not caught. And for the last time when he was given a life sentence and 50 years, it was because he had unalived his girlfriend. He had also violated 2 girls. He violated many, but he admitted to those. So he decided that I'll keep the number at a minimum. And he made a plea deal. You know, these plea deals, actually, they give a person a right to just lie. Say it's a confession, like it's a confession. So whatever that he's going to say is a confession will be taken as the truth. And then he will be sentenced on that. That is why the magistrate gave him the longest sentence. What does he do? He keeps on scamming people there, and he sees that it works. And I think as other people are coming in, out, telling stories as to this politician asked me to do this, maybe somehow he gets to get their secrets, because we don't understand how come he ends up with connections that are enough to give him so much power that allows him to have the freedom inside, the freedom to wear whatever clothes that he wants, the freedom to have a laptop, the freedom to have a cell phone, the freedom to come in and out of the prison as he wants. He can't get just those connections just. And then, worst part, what happens to Doctor? Things don't go well in her marriage. Guys, I will not reveal what I know about her marriage as to what happened, but things were not going well. And sometimes when things are not going well in the marriage, that's where the opportunity to make horrible mistakes happens. So she does the horrible mistake of tracking down the old boyfriend, find him, 2017. I hear people saying 2013. It wasn't 2013, it was 2017. The first thing that he does, when she gets there, she finds that, wow, he is not just anybody. Now he's got power, superpowers, money inside there. He convinces her to stop working. She does. Here's money, baby. She takes. Go and start a practice. She's happy. Oh, this guy. And I think she saw herself as somebody that was going to build an empire with this guy. Who doesn't love money? Let's tell the truth. Almost everybody does love money. I don't know anybody that does not love money, except for I know people that would refuse and say, I don't love money. But when you look at them, you're like, guys, see, I find a song. Okay, so I think she was led. She was lured with money, and she loved the money. And this is the guy that's used to knowing how to start the Instagram, whatever. If you listen carefully to his audio that where he's shouting at her, you'll discover that even that Instagram, he is somehow having a power over it. He has the control over it. So there he is, control her. So that Instagram page is for us to think that, wow, she's successful with her business. Wow, we keep on saying wow, and then she convinces us that, and she's enjoying the moment. So we don't know at what stage does the abuse start, but the abuse was there. Do I believe that the abuse is real? More than 1000%. I'll tell you why. There is no way a person that had unalived a girlfriend out of a fit of rage is going to be gentle with you. So the abuse was definitely going to happen at one stage. whether she contributed in everything, whether at one stage she felt like, I don't want to carry on with this anymore. She had started a can of worms that she could not unopen anymore. She could not put the lid back anymore. People like Thabo are people that, as they tell you that you'll regret the day you met me. Bona, it is true. They are not kidding. They are telling the truth. So actually, she is regretting the day they met, because Mugai is just it's just making her do things. Let's come to the issue that happened at the fire. Let's come to the fire. I'll give you my perspective, because it has been established that this guy was outside. This guy was more outside than inside. This guy was going back probably when they know that there is so and so that's coming, probably maybe for inspection of whatever. They would say, hey, please. And another thing that I'm thinking is, he could have had somebody that he was switching with, paying that person to be there, such that at a time when they have to make their count, because usually in prisons they make counts, and if in case there comes someone that comes unannounced to come and then wants to do the head count, there must be someone that is counted. Otherwise, it was going to be clear that he is outside here. But when you look at the statement of the brother, I will tell you the telltale sentences that he spoke about. He said, well, I'm sorry guys, my memory got full. I had to delete some of the things, and by the time I finished, I was too lazy to continue recording. So yeah, today I feel like then I have a little bit of strength to record again. I was on the statement of the brother that was posted in 2021 on his Facebook page. If you are following this story nicely, you would hear that there was a time when the brother Nkosinathi and Nandipha had a tiff. The tiff was caused by Nandipha telling the brother that TK says you must leave, he's coming, he's gonna kill you, he's gonna shoot you on the head with your wife and child, please leave. And she was begging the sister-in-law, and even she even ordered an Uber for them so that they can leave that night. And Nathi said, I'm not going anywhere. Now this is 2021, guys. Hello, this is 2021. Nandipha is scared, is telling the brother and the wife who are living in their cottage there, that in that Hyde Park house, but in the cottage, to leave, because Mr. TK Nkwana has ordered that when he gets there, he should not find them there. Hello. Remember, he only escaped on the 3rd of May 2022. But the statement was issued by Nkosinathi in 2021 after that tiff, because he was angry with the sister. And then he decided to spill the beans on Facebook. So when you look at that statement, that's where he says, outside he goes by the name of TK Nkwana, talking about the Facebook rapist Thabo Bester whom her sister had a relationship. And then he also says she exposes her 2 daughters to that guy in a world that is full of gender-based violence and what not. Ne? So those were indicators in 2021 that coined up, and Nandipa fought to a point where she took the brother to court to have that statement removed. He had to delete it on Facebook, ordered by the court, our South African courts. And because I think she was afraid people would catch up fast. And shame, little did she know that all officials are like, no one cared about that. So that was 2021, evidence that he was out, besides the evidence that's popping out now. Then there was this other guy. Why do I forget him? But he's somebody block watch. And then there is this other white guy. I forgot his name, but it has got some block watch. Oh, Sneeman. I think if it's not Danny Sneeman, but he's Sneeman. I know, Sneeman block watch on Facebook. He had been tracing because there was a lady whom, when he was out, Thabo Bester, he was one of the victims. When he was out, he was tormenting that lady. He was following her. He was harassing her. But honestly, according to what I've heard, is that he would follow her with his Porsche. He would just follow her and just look at her, like, you know, that thing of I see you, and what will you do? Because when she reports, when the police, you know, they take time. By the time they check, either he had a replacement there, or he had someone lying for him there at Mangaung prison. Because when the police would call following this lady's complaint, the result they got was, no, Thabo Bester is in prison. So this lady looked like she was mad. Then she looked for this guy. I don't know how she knew about this guy. This guy knows Thabo Bester since 2006, when he was doing this and that and this and that, other cases and so on. So he had been following Thabo Bester throughout all those years. So he knew him. He knew his tricks. So I don't know how this lady got to know about that guy. And then they started following Thabo Bester. That guy discovered last year, 2022 January, that Thabo Bester was living in Hyde Park. He even got to the house. He even got to the security at the house. The security at the house confirmed to him that, yes, TK lives here. Even gave a description of the car, which was the same as the description that is described to this guy by the lady that is being tormented by this TK. So guys, just follow that page on Facebook. I'll try and put up a link in the description box somewhere, so that you can follow that page. You will hear it is stories and stories and stories on end of Thabo Bester from way back. And this guy tried everything. He says he spoke to 2 parole boards. No one listened. They thought he was mad because he is even older. They thought he's losing his mind. Even the journalists, Sunday Times journalists, doubted him when he was telling them that story, that, hey man, the Facebook rapist is out here. He lives there, Everybody thought he was cuckoo because he's older. You know, sometimes when you get old, people think like the mind is going back and you're losing the marbles. It was exactly the same thing. And the poor lady suffered for so long. I remember her talking on Twitter to say, yo, they treated me as if I was nuts, I was crazy. We kept on telling them. We sent them even the evidence and the what. The Mangaung Correctional Services would adamantly say, no, Thabo Bester is here. That cannot be Thabo Bester. He's here. We did a head count. We did a what. Hence, I am somehow convinced that it is highly possible that this guy was paying someone to go and replace him. It is highly likely. That's number one. Number two that I'm thinking, guys, Thabo Bester planned his own escape from outside, not inside. He planned his escape from outside. Believe me, he executed the plan nicely. He cannot be going in and out in jail and then let Nandipha do all the planning alone. Think about it. He had the liberty of being out. For which purpose? For that. So that he can organize everything. Hence, he could organize even the getaways. He would forget and plan the getaways in his name. He was out. This guy is the one that put the milli in the coffin. He's the one that put that verse in the coffin himself with his hands. I'm telling you. Do you see Nandipha holding the milli and putting it in the boxes, in the coffins? Do you really see her doing that? Do you see Nandipha like holding literally? I'm not saying she was not an accomplice. She was very much of an accomplice. I'll tell you where I feel like she was entering. So the hard work this guy was doing, even the person that has been killed, if there is a person that has been killed with a blunt head, forced trauma on the head, I see Thabo Bester doing it. I don't see Nandipha doing it herself. I do not see that there's Sekeleni doing it, like taking something. I don't see that. But Thabo Bester, guys, why would that guy be outside here? That guy killed the girl in blood, in cold blood. Sorry, in cold blood. Imagine what could stop him from killing someone so that they can go and replace him there in jail. But remember, he cannot go to officials himself. Who has to go? That's when Nandipha comes in. So every paperwork, every office where somebody has to be there, it is Nandipha. But believe me, the hard work was done by this boy. It was done by this boy. That coffin that goes where from point A to B, Nandipha just goes and say and ask. From there, he takes over. I see him taking the cops outside and then putting the milli in. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing. How else? Why would he be outside if he's not going to do all that? And who else to do the plan thoroughly as planned except for him? Think about it. Think about it. He did all the hard work. And remember, such a job is not a job that you can call anyone. Nandipha cannot call someone else to say, hey, come and help with this milli, put it in here. Guys, it's difficult to carry one bag of milli, 3. And then the coffin. Think about it. The coffin now, it has got 3 bags or 4 bags of milli. I'm not so sure how many were there. It had to be carried after being put in there. Who did that hard work? Alone? Can't be. I alone. And then I want to address something. as to how I feel that the Sekileni comes in. This play out so often in black families, whereby a parent somehow relent his parental duties and responsibilities over to the child that is successful in the family. Suddenly, when you become something important in the family, all of a sudden you become the eldest in the family, even to your parents. You can instruct them to do things. They can't do something before they tell you. You suddenly have got now to grant permissions for some of the things to happen. So, my point is, I think that Sekileni, as educated as he is, make no mistake that Sekileni is educated. Yes, he was a teacher. He was promoted. He ended up working at the district. He even got another promotion there at the district. By the time he retired, he was something very important in the Department of Education, in the district office of the Department of Education. So here we're not talking about some parent that is not educated, that didn't go to school. But I've seen this happen in many black families. It does not matter how educated the parents are. The minute their child gets some success, a doctor, it's something that is regarded as very high in the family. So I see that this Sekileni being told ukuthi papa yenza kanje, tata cela ukwenza kanje, tata cela ukwenza kanje. So the other information that I have that I cannot confirm is that actually the mother that was in court is not actually the biological mother. I don't know how true that is, that her own biological mother has passed. So sympathy, if that is the truth, there is again that sympathy of wanting to be there for your children when the other parent is not there. This happens a lot, particularly in black families, because most of us, when we separate with our partners, we end up being the single parents. And if we're single parents, we feel like we must close the gap for the other parent that is not there. It also happens when the other parent has passed on. The surviving parent feels like they have to close the gap for the one that is not there. It may have been the case. I'm not saying this is actually what happened. We do not know the whole story. I think we will end up finding exactly what happened when the case rolls out. That's if it will roll out. And even then, we should not expect that we'll hear the whole truth. Remember, actually in court, it's not about the truth. It's actually about what you can prove. It's about who has the best lawyer. Whoever has the best lawyer stands the chance of winning in court. Whoever has the best lawyer and can pay the best lawyer stands a chance of winning in court. They even win with lies because they can fabricate some of the evidence that they can fabricate. Whatever evidence that can be fabricated, believe me, it does get fabricated. And because the main aim is to see the person getting out, because for an attorney to win a case, it's a big deal, because that means more clients of the same caliber or even the higher caliber. So we are going to see survival of the fittest in that court. It's going to be very interesting, because these people are not going to be represented by the same attorney. It looks like everybody in there will be having their own attorney. Have you seen Senzo Meyiwa case where we have about 2 to 3 attorneys now? It looks like we're gonna have a similar setup, a similar scenario where we're having the same case but with different attorneys. I wonder when will that case be finished, because Boy, oh boy, that case is gonna be very long. It's gonna take a while. By the way, there was another arrest that was made again yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, yes. And this one is still working. He was arrested at work. He's 51 years old, guys. He is my age. Imagine at my age being arrested for such silly things. He had an input in the escape as well. I'm not surprised. I wondered that this again, what happened, because, or is it because he wrote the letter? Because the other charges are dropped against him, so maybe it's because of the letter that he wrote or he signed. And I think this child of his just said, "Daddy, please sign it up." Yes, all. Or did he, maybe he was together with her saying, "Let's go and look for TK Shonil," and maybe he discovered after, and then he could not do anything about it. Do you know that? I doubt this girl was honest to him from the onset about their plan. She may have decided that, okay, I'll ask my dad for this so that this can be believable. Let's go and find. She could say to him, TK Ushonil, because I'm definitely sure they knew about TK, because the brother knew about TK even before. And it is said that they were living with Nandipa at TK's house in Hyde Park. That Hyde Park house is TK's. That Optimum Solutions, whatever, is TK's, guys. The cars, the what, all those things were TK's. Nandipa, like, if you listen to the 10-minute clip, 10-minute audios that she sent out for the world to hear, or she may have given to the police and the police leaked it. Now my suspicion is that she may have sent it to the police and then the police decided to leak it. That's my view. And they added it together because, of course, they must join it together. You can feel, not can feel, sorry, it's a horror. You can hear that it's different clips of different dates, different scenarios, different places happening. There is a time when he's calling and you could tell that he may be in prison by the time he says, "I'm coming to Joburg, I'm coming there, I'm coming to Hyde Park tomorrow." You can tell that that was that time. So I think maybe when she started seeing that the abuse was starting and she didn't know how to get off. Remember, again, one other thing is, for her to decide that she wants to stop is not going to be easy. First of all, the anger that you can tell from that 10-minute video, the threats that she gets, that she was gonna be killed and his children and their husband was threatened to be killed by this TK. So we can tell that, man, this was deep. And coming out of such a relationship is not easy. Even where there is a place where he says something like, "I'm not holding you, you can leave, just leave. But if you're gonna stay here," believe me, if she was gonna decide that, okay, I'm leaving, hell was gonna break loose. What do I think? I think even people that are going to church, saving us relationship goals. There are so many people that you see on Facebook are saving on social pages. Let me just say social pages, being it Instagram, being it Facebook, being it whatever social network that you know, places that you see them that look like they've got that things, couple goals. Believe me, there is a significant fraction of them that are living the life of threats. that are living the life of abuse. But when it comes to a point where they have to come and show up, they show up, baby. They can make you feel like, wow, my life is missing something. You are okay. So even people that go to church, guys, I've known people, I've known people who are going to church. You would think this is an example couple. I want to be like them, and so on and so on. Behind closed doors, they are living the life of threats. They are living the life of beatings. They are living the life of that horrible life that you would never imagine. You think, it's a lie by the time you hear about it. Now, what am I saying? I want to say there is no honor among the thieves. There has never been honor among the thieves. There was no way this guy can be sweet to her, whereas he wasn't. When the story broke, the first week the story broke, one of the ladies that was once a prisoner, they are a close friend on Facebook though, but we talk a lot. That's why I'm saying it's close friend on Facebook. She said to me, hey, I was with TK last month, sorry. I was with TK just last month. Hey, I'm shocked that guy is being arrested. You know him? Yes, I do know him. Hi, Buena. Yes. And she just said, the first thing that she said, that guy is brilliant. That guy is so brilliant. The only thing about him is the anger. She said, that guy has got temper from hell. So, me from hearing that, long before now, there comes this clip where you can actually hear the anger. And now I'm remembering that lady that said, I know him. So, in short, actually, there were many people that knew about him. Some knew that he's coming from prison, but they were not gonna what do you call it, read out. Let me tell you why. All people that knew, he made sure that they benefited. It's people that benefited. It's people that were benefiting. Even this one that I'm talking about was benefiting. They were benefiting. There are projects, so somehow he gets to connect them. Who and who? He has connections. They say even if he's not gonna give you money, he may even want money from you, but connections, he will make sure that you have connections. So they've got programs as people that come from prison that they are doing. He's there, he's helping. So many people who are ex-prisoners knew about him being outside. That's number one. Many people who are Nandipa's friends knew about him. Many people that he was having meetings. He was having meetings like nobody's business. He was there, and everywhere. So, fact remains, we are doomed because in our country, people can be allowed, of his caliber, can be allowed to come outside anytime like that. This is not one case, guys. There should be many more. There should be many more. And I want you to think about something as well. That this guy, being in and out, he must have committed some of the things outside. That at the time he had an alibi. So even if you were gonna say it's him, it was not gonna stick because this person is counted in prison, guys. G4S was adamant. G4S was adamant to secure its reputation that much, to a point where even when they saw that things were not going well, they were not going to tell anyone. They were not going to admit to anything. So you don't even know. Maybe he has shares now, because if what is being said about him is any truth to go by, 3 billion is a lot. So he can buy shares. Because why was he treated like a king in prison if he's not? Why was he like turning that prison into his own empire, as described by News 24 today? There is something. Even these men that were called to the portfolio committee in parliament last week, it's possible they knew very well. They pretend not to know, but actually it's highly likely that they were also silenced with payment, because it said that this guy was living the life. This guy, that prison looked like it was his, and there was no one who was gonna stand in front of him. As short as he is Pella, he does not even have those muscles and whatnot. But Oksalayo, money does buy you power. Money buys anything in this world. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it is this very, very long. I don't promise that I'll make regular updates here. I do make regular updates on Facebook. Then on Facebook I do give regular updates, but here I don't think I'll be regular unless there is something that develops that feels like we need to be talking about. Otherwise, I do know that there are other people that are tired of hearing about the Dr. Nandipa, Sekileni Makudulela, and Thabo Bester. So for them, we'll try and do other content so that at least we can all be happy. Thank you so much for watching up until now. If you haven't subscribed, why don't you subscribe? If you have watched up until this time, that means you're interested. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you. See you in the next video.